is unlocking the magic of tonality. Yeah. What we'll be covering today is the model of communication, just understanding a bit basic, like, some model that one of the philosophers, or not philosophers, one of the psychologists who have done some research around it. We're going to be talking a bit about it in the beginning, and then we go straight into the tonality, types of tonality. Okay. So model of communication is something we're going to discuss about right now. So there's a guy named Albert Merbian. Yeah, Merbian. Please excuse me. I sometimes I'm just not able to, pronounce these American names. That's why I'm doing Indian calls. Yeah, just excuse me. Yeah. Anyways, so this guy has done some research, guys. In the communication field, and he's a philosopher, University of California, around a 75-year-old guy, and his research is quite famous. What he have done is he have done a study around communication, and what he found out after he done that study is that words are not everything when it comes to communication. In fact, the element of personal communication is that actually has some impact here, right? So what is it? The study suggests that communication is made up of 7% just words. That's 7%. And 30%, 38% is tonality. That comes your voice, inflection, pitch, pace, your voice. That comprises of 38% in your communication. And remaining 55% is purely body language. They call it 738-55 rule. Yeah. Now, if what this guy is saying is true, then your call, your script, specifically your script doesn't has much to do here. Your question that you're asking, the way you're presenting yourself, the way you're talking, your tonality is comprising of how much? 93%. Wow. And a lot of people focus on script. They're like, just give me the nice converting script. But it's not about the script, man. Yeah. When you're on Zoom call, your tonality and body language alone comprises of 93% weightage in your communication. Yeah. Which means no matter how many fancy sales scripts and awesome questions you find on the internet to ask on your sales call, if you don't understand the non-verbal communication, you will not win the game of communication well. Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah. People think like words, I just tell me the right questions, Aniket, to ask, what question I can ask that they just tell me their pain. We can give you that. But would that help? No, they will still not tell you until you're using the right tonality. Yeah. Now, what it all means is that all the following things that I'm going to be sharing now, all of these things has about a 93% weightage when it comes to influencing the prospect to make the decision. Your dress. Yeah. Like Om was talking about it, how you presenting yourself, and your dress does has a lot of things to do. Yeah. Like right now, just imagine right now you're seeing me in a nice black t-shirt, which has a EC logo that's not visible here, right? Just imagine I'm being in a sando banyan, like that, and teaching you. Would you take me seriously? You wouldn't, right? And of course, nobody would go on a sando banyan on a, on a closing call, but some of you would go on a maybe on a round neck t-shirt, right? That may not look that fine, right? That's what it is. Your dress has a lot to do. In fact, this now background you're seeing right now, if you don't have a background, that's why we have given you this thing, easy background, right? But if you don't have a good background, then you don't want to be using it. Like you better use the background thing, because it helps. It helps. Now, like I have like intentionally put books behind me. 95% of them I haven't read. I've just read a few books. Yeah. But what happens is when people are seeing me on the call, they're like, oh, this must be a smart guy, and books and all. Right? Awards, oh, 2 awards. Oh, yeah, smart guy, authority, right? See how I'm playing with their mind, right? I think. But anyways, even if you don't have a cool background, that doesn't mean you can't close a deal. You just can put that background thing, right? But anyways, I'm talking majorly about you presenting here, right? Your dress, your facial gestures, yeah. How you presenting, yeah. How are you making your expression when you are asking the question? You all know that closing has a lot to do with your acting as well, right? You need to be a good actor as well, yeah. Your voice, yeah. How is it, right? Is it good? Like almost talking about the variations that you want to try when you're meeting a different kind of prospect, right? Your tonality, yeah, your hands movement, if you are using that, right? that influences. And even your eye contact. Yeah. A lot of people, what they do is they fix their camera like that. The camera is on top. Yeah. But they talk on the screen, of course, when they're talking, right? But the eye contact is not actually happening because the camera is on top. Until they see in the camera, then only the communicate, that they can see eye to eye. And that also impacts. Yeah. Ideally, you want to have a, like that, like this kind of, setup. If you have a setup, nice setup, right? You want to keep a this kind of setup so that you can see in the front, right? You can see like eye to eye. Yeah. And your pauses. When you take pauses, if you don't, I will teach you now how to take pauses, and we'll be covering it further, when we cover, some more around the script, but that's what it is, guys. It's all non-verbal. Yeah. Typically, yeah, this is all non-verbal, right? And it's comprising of about 93%. Yeah. Now, when you are just on a phone call, if we are not in a Zoom call, then there's a slight change here. Your body language is not there, right? Now, what it means is it's now all about your words and tonality. Because body language, like on phone, no bad body language, right? Nothing is there, right? And in that case, your tonality is now comprises of about 75%, 75 to 80% weightage in your communication. That's why there's a huge difference when you open up the call, like somebody opening up a call from call center. Yeah. It will be like something like this, in India, typically when you pick up the call, somebody calling from call center. Chief, do you want to show a quick example how it would look like a call from a call center?
Yeah. I think everyone knows, like, firstly, you'll see that true caller saying spam or fraud or whatever it might be. But you're like, okay, fine, I'll just pick it up. And you're like, hello, I'm calling from ICICI Bank. I'm calling from this one. Hello, sir. It's like, oh God, slam the phone. You don't even want to speak to them, right? So
Right, right.
that's really annoying. And we are not call center people for sure.
Yeah. And Om can use the same words that he used with a different tonality, and you would still like to speak to him. Chief, can you use something
Right.
similar words that they
So
use?
yeah, I mean, you just firstly, what's very important on a call, and most of you might know this, is that you should never be the first person to say hello, right? That you should always wait for someone to say hello. And typically, you want to have their name, but if you don't have their name, it's also fine. But typically, you want to say, "Hi, I'm calling from ICICI Bank. Is this so and so person?" Yeah. Now that's a big difference, right? Confidence. You got to be able to be like, okay, this guy must be a senior manager from ICICI Bank who's calling me, right? That's the difference between if you think, and I can still pitch you a loan or whatever it is in that same sort of fashion, and I can close you 100%.
Right. Yeah. We're talking about the tonality part, guys, and like Om was talking about, something it came in my mind that I would like to share with you. That Om was talking about profile, right? Your profile picture. So like sometimes you're doing a reminder message right before you're getting on a call to a prospect, and they're gonna see your WhatsApp message, right? Hi Om, it's a reminder, for our call. And what they're gonna do, they're gonna come and check your profile, right? Now, like Om said, it can be if it's a different one, of course, they're now gonna have a assumption about you, right? Same goes for a true caller as well. Yeah. Or true caller, you want to have a nice photo coming in, a nice name, right? So pickup rate goes high. Once a closer came to me, guys, and he asked me that, Aniket, I understood about WhatsApp thing. I will get a profile, nice profile picture done at studio. How can I increase my pickup rate? Like when they see on the true caller, like how can like they just feel like picking up my call? I was like, okay, let me think about it, and his name was something Mr. ABC Kumar. I said, okay, do one thing. So from ABC Kumar, change your name, put Pinky Bhavi. Yeah. Yeah. So put a girl name. Of course, even people who are busy, the man who are busy, even they will pick your call. And then you start the thing. Yeah. Yeah, that's joking, right? Hello, I'm gonna keep myself hydrated, guys. So, you know,
Yeah,
so I'm
I
all
mean,
good.
if any of you really are into outbound also a lot, I highly recommend investing in a Truecaller Gold membership. It's only $4,000 for the entire year. But if you're doing outbound like that, that's something, which would be really beneficial. Having that Truecaller Gold icon coming up.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. All right. Okay, let's move on. Now, which means we gotta fix it, yeah, before it's too late, your tonality and that sort of stuff. So let's go on. Now we want to talk about tonality straight, guys. What is tonality and types of tonality? Okay. So there are, in our understanding, guys, there can be just some people just talk about two to three tonality, but the kind of tonality that I have observed myself using it, I don't even remember if I typically took a tonality training. Honestly, I didn't really took. But how I learned tonality is by working with top closers, seeing them their tonality variations and all that sort of stuff. I practice a lot with top closers, whether it was international and and then Indian market. We in the beginning days of EC we had really like topmost high ticket closers. Like I practice with them, and I found out different sort of tonality, and I learned all of those. I want to be able to share with you what are those. Yeah. So there's a curious tone, like you all know, this is something you all are familiar with, right? Curious tone. You're being curious on the call, right? Yeah, I'm just curious. Yeah, you all know that, right? But there is something called the calm composed CEO. I have kind of, named it. And this is something I learned from home. I call it the calm composed CEO tonality, which will be sharing with you. And home does it very well, which I'll be showing you. And there's a skeptical tone, yeah, which shows skepticism, right? And that makes them open up more. And there's something challenging where you're going to challenge them. You challenge them softly, you challenge them to take the action, and they do. And then there's something called a concern tone where you're like showing some empathy and concern, and there's a disappointment also. Yeah. So let's talk about all. I will be sharing questions, some examples to help you understand that. But yeah, if you want, you can take a screenshot of it, but understand, all of these tonality very well, because I've seen a lot of closers, even like closers who are 1 year down the line in the profession, they forget to use tonality. They don't really use tonality when it comes to problem, pain question. They're like, in the end, Aniket, they are giving me like, oh, objection. I think I let me think about it, and there's no urgency. That's because you have not using questions well. The questions are so powerful, so nice, but this tonality, because of tonality, you are getting beaten in the game over and over. So let's work on it. Yeah. Today we'll be working upon it, and you might want to come back to this session and listen to it so that you can start practicing it. Okay. All right. Let's take an example of curious tone. Yeah. So being curious is one of the traits of a good closer, right? And as they say, you want to write it down. Yeah. Be curious and not judgmental, right? So I'm not sure. I think Om was covering that up, right? You don't want to be somebody who is judging them, right? Because a lot of time closers want to come to you, prospects want to come to you, they're going to share a lot of things, like I was saying yesterday, right? And you don't want to take everything. You don't have to. Like somebody must be hating his wife, yeah, and telling you that, like, she's like that and all. Now you know what kind of man he is. No, you don't have to think like that. It's fine. It's his life, right? But what's the focus here? You want to generate more leads. Yeah. Let's talk about that, right? So be curious. Be curious in the area where you have to be curious, but not judgmental, because that will impact your call. Because now once it's there in your mind, you're judging him. You're not seeing him as a good man, right? And of course, now that it's gonna you will be, because it's in your mind when you're talking, when you're putting your words out, transfer of feeling, yeah, transfer of feeling. Your build, your rapport may break. Yeah. Anyways, let's not talk about that much right now. Just talking curiosity tone, right? So being curious means that you are not really, you are really keen in knowing about something specific. It shows you're like, you just want to know. Yeah. And that's the kind of quality you want to have as a closer. Yeah. A curious tone typically reflects an interest in learning more about a topic or idea, and it may involve asking questions, seeking information, and exploring different perspectives, right? So I will show you an example, guys, in a moment, right? And I would like you to see how the expression I am, following when I'm using that question, right? An example would be like this example, okay? So let's say I'm on a Zoom call, right? So my expression and tonality will be something like this, like, so let's say I'm on a call, right? On a Zoom call. I'll say something like,
So
yeah.
maybe you can just do the wrong way and then the right way, Aniket. I think that would be a good comparison.
Okay, sure, Chief. We can do that. Okay. All right. In that case, sure, the wrong way, huh? Hmm. Yeah, so simple question. Yeah. So like we want to ask, like, what motivated them to come and register for the webinar? Yeah. So without curious tone, yeah, I was like, so Om, you do a role play with me, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, so Om, what motivated you to attend our webinar?
Mm, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Uh, I think I was a bit fast here. Yeah. But yeah, like I'm not curious, not being really curious in my mind also. Yeah. So your tonality will actually come from your mind until you are curious. You accept you are curious to know. When you're getting on call, you should be like so curious that you want to know, like, why is he even using Facebook to use to lead generation? So curious, like so curious in your mind, right? And then use the curiosity tone, right? So I'll be asking like, so Om, the other day when you saw the ad of Vishal online on Facebook, or probably you saw it on YouTube, what is it that you saw in the ad that like really attracted you to register for the webinar?
Hmm. Well, I was just going through a bunch of ads and I thought that it looked quite interesting and I wanted to check it out as it's going along.
Okay. Yeah.
So what I felt was as well, while you were asking me that question, is also it was giving me some time to think. He was pacing himself and he was showing that curiosity, and I was trying to think of a good answer to give him versus first time, which is he just said, "What motivated you to join the ad?" And I'm just going to give some straight answer like that, just in 1 second, whatever answer comes to my mind, I'm going to give it. But when he slowed it down, I was like actually thinking, okay, what's going to be my answer? How am I going to sound smart in this case, right?
Right,
That,
right.
that's also a great advantage.
And if you notice, guys, I paused a bit here, like dot 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 means pause, right? So what's it's allowing to do prospect is think deep. You can use it on different question, usually question where you're probing as well. Yeah, here as well, right? So pause, what it does is like when I'm pausing, like prospect is bit alert. Okay, what's coming? He's alert, right? And when you release that word, the next word is like, oh, so much of focus he is listening. Now when it's going into his ears, it's gonna think deep. Yeah, so what really attracted me? Like that, right? I will give you an example again without curious tone, right? Let me ask the same thing. Yeah. Okay. So, on the other day, when you saw the ad, what really attracted you to attend the webinar?
Mm, yeah, I mean, I just wanted to see what it was all about.
Okay, okay. Now, a lot of closers comes to me, they say, Aniket, they're giving one word answer. Like, what do I do next? Tone. Yeah. Because of your tone, most probably 90% of the time, they are giving you one word answers. Yeah. They are not even thinking. Your tone gonna make them think. Yeah. One more example. Yeah. I'm just curious. I'm just really curious. Like, why would you take out time and attend a 3 hour masterclass in the first place? Like, you being a busy man, you just told me how kind of, your busy schedule is. Why would you take out time and attend a 3 hour masterclass in the first place?
That's a good question, Aniket. Blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah, like that, right? Tone. Yeah. Curious tone. Yeah. Shouldn't you want to add anything to that? Oh, we can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Yeah, Aniket, here, yeah, your curiosity and your voice is very, very important. And like Om said, when you're passing it, like you're giving a gap, that means you are making the prospect think. Now, I would like to quote two examples in the public life where people use this passing to their advantage. Maybe you can relate to that. One is you would have heard of Winston Churchill, right? So he had a natural stammering in his voice.
Okay.
And he used to use it very effectively in his, mass communications. He was a crowd puller. So he used to, stammer at the right place, and then it makes people think. So another example is Barack Obama. He didn't have any stammering, but he used this passing very, very effectively in his speeches. If any of you heard his speeches, it really makes the people think. Why people outside, even most of our politicians, when they speak, they use this tonality so much, it makes people think, oh, what he's making sense, what he's telling is making a lot of sense. Oh, he's a powerful speaker. So guys, when you use this pass effectively with the right tone, it's very, very powerful.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You may have seen Modi ji, he's giving a strong pitch, and then you take a pause and there's a silence. And then when you again speak, oh, what an impact, right? Again, amazing, amazing. Yeah. Let's go on to next thing, guys. Now, the calm, composed CEO tool. Yeah. So this tone we typically want to be using on an outbound call majorly. Yeah. Or in the beginning of the call, even it's outbound, right? Even if it's inbound. In the opening where we want to sound like an authority or a professional. A professional. Yeah. Professional is the word. Who's calling that individual? Who's speaking to him? Yeah. The aim of this tone is to make the other person feel valuable as an authority is calling him to have a small check. Yeah. Authority in the sense doesn't mean that you have to be the king. It means something, somebody who has a nice position, something like slight over than a usual regular position, right? Somebody who is smart in a nutshell. Yeah. Right. So the calm composed CEO. Yeah. So it's a quick example that I'm going to give you when I use this. So we usually use it on the outbound call, like something like a webinar follow up when we do. Yeah. Okay, so I will do it, and I will also like Om to do it. Om does it very well. Om, you can do it in your style. That you do like the courtesy call. Yeah,
Mm.
right. So yeah, let me call you first. Huh? So here, like the aim, like I said, guys, we typically what happens when we have a lot of people who joins us on the outbound. Usually, typically anybody who is joining us, first of all, we put them on outbound just to test them. First of all, second them is that it really tests. It's a test at the same time it improves them. Because it's a bit hardcore. Inbound is slight easy when you are coming from outbound. So that serves as a nice training. And when they're starting the call, they are just not able to position themselves. They're still sounding like a just like a guy who's calling from call center, and then people don't really want to speak to them, so they are just losing the chance to make a sale because prospect who might be interested is not even willing to speak, like I'm actually busy, call me later. Because in the first 3 seconds, like they are taking your verbal and non-verbal cues, right? The tone in the first 3 seconds, right? So here's where you need to fix, right? So that you make the maximum possible sales, right? And typically I tell the closers, when you are like opening the call, you want to in outbound specifically, you want to assume like you are the CEO, a CEO who is calling, so that you have the authority, right? Time what happens is closers think like they are just a salesperson, they are appointment center, they are just like a cog in a wheel. They're the smallest person in the organization. Why do you feel like that, man? Even your role is the one that is bringing the revenue, man. You're not less than a CEO, right? So I tell them you calling like a CEO, right? Like a CEO sitting on his table right now. He just got the time now, and you're gonna call. So when a CEO call, he's not gonna call. Hi, sir. My name is Aniket. I'm actually calling for the webinar you attended. You know, oh yeah, webinar attended. Yeah, it's a. They call me later, sir. We know. I can't really speak. So you're not gonna call like that. How is he gonna call? Yeah, hi, my name is Aniket Kumar, and I actually just had a time home to get back to you. Difference. Yeah, that's how we want to position. It will completely differentiate. Nobody up until now, other than Om in India, when they called me, it was like a only Om called me. That too in 2019 when I met him. His call was so different, so soothing. Otherwise, other people like typically from call center, I don't even pick the call. If I pick, I just hang up, right? Chief.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready?
So go for it.
Okay. All right. So yeah, train.
Hello.
Hi. Is it Om?
Yes, I'm speaking.
Hi Om. My name is Aniket Kumar, and I actually just had a time to get back to you. Actually, Vishal personally asked me to give you a call just to acknowledge you for attending the masterclass and say thanks to you. And he wanted me to collect a small feedback from you of the webinar and give and pass you this gift. Do you have time to accept the gift, Om?
Yeah, sure. How long will this call take?
Yeah, it actually depends. It should not take more than a 5 minute, but yeah, that's what it is. Oh, by the way, I didn't introduce myself. My name is like I said. Oh, I introduced in this line. I introduced actually.
Yeah.
Sometimes I say something else. Like you have seen my script, right? I say
Mm.
the reason for the call is to give you the gift, right? And that's one way. Yeah. Yeah, and here I actually carry on. Okay, great. Yeah. So sometimes I say like just to break the pattern, right? I say like, hi, the reason for the call is to give you the gift from Om or blank or Mr. ABC. Yeah. Like gift. Yeah. Yeah. So you remember you had attended a webinar with Vishal just yesterday? Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah. So that's why I'm actually calling you. So I just had the time to actually get back to you, and the reason I'm calling because Vishal personally asked me to give you a call. Yeah, and like that. Now, why wouldn't a person like to speak to me after like I've told him because he have seen the influencer, right? We're calling a warm lead only. Yeah, he knows the influencer, top influencer. Now, when I'm calling and I'm saying that particular influencer asked me to call, and then if I'm not introduced myself, I introduce here. By the way, I didn't introduce myself. Here, I position myself. It's like something like it will be like it will be something like this in the call. Oh, by the way, I didn't introduce myself to you. My name is Aniket Kumar, and I'm one of the senior advisors here at Vishal's consulting team. Yeah. So now before I send you the drop you the gift on WhatsApp, I would like to ask you, and here I can teach you know. So I positioned myself here. Yeah. Chief, you want to show it in your style? Yeah. How
Yeah. So typically what I do is I go in a very curious tone. So I'll just do it. So tring.
hello?
Hi, am I speaking to Aniket?
Yeah, speaking. Who's this?
Aniket, my name is Om Janikram. I'm calling from Vishal Manocha's team. Actually, Vishal asked me to personally give you a call just to acknowledge you and thank you for staying till the end of the masterclass. Are you free for about 2 minutes to get some feedback? And I want to give you a free gift as well. Is this a good time?
Yeah. Tell me on.
Perfect. So just to let you know, the free gift is the 7 steps to building a successful career, and it's going to show you how you can really jet stream to the top and get a 2x salary. Is that something that you think would be of value to you?
Yeah. I think it can be definitely beneficial. You can send it to me.
Sure, I will definitely send it to you. Aniket, I'm just curious. You had stayed till the end of the webinar, is that right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
And what was your experience? How did you like it? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, we'll stop here actually.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Hmm.
And yeah, like you see, how Om started up. Like this is something I've actually learned from Om. Yeah. So there's just a script change, but you see the tonality that he has. It doesn't look like a salesperson is calling me, not at all. Type in the chat to you who it feels like a call, who is calling. Typically, if you have to put a position, you have to put a name. Yeah. Consultant. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, consultant. Consultant is the word, right? That's what we want to sound like here. And just to tell you guys, in the Indian market itself, we have now funnels like where just by webinar follow up, people are selling like 4 lakh ticket. The call like this will lead to even a 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 4 lakh sale. There are people. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, let's move on. Yeah. So the next is skeptical tone. Yeah.
So just before we move on to the next thing, I see a comment here saying prefer to say, hi, this is Ashutosh this side, how are you? Now, while that is okay, it's again very typical traditional sales. Hi, this is Om here. How are you doing today? How are you? Immediately they know that this is a sales call, right? Because that's how typically salespeople speak, right? And we do not want to sound like salespeople. We want to sound like consultants,
Yeah.
right? So that's the only reason when you say how are you, how's the weather, where are you at, all those things is all typical sales talk, which people know and can smell from a mile away. We want to break the pattern here, guys. And we have other ways that we break the pattern, but you want to be so different from every other person who they speak to day in, day out, and be that one person. They'd be like, wow, I actually had a very different call today with someone different. So that's the only reason why we don't recommend asking, how are you, or anything like that. Even, is it a good time also is usually, we try to avoid that completely, because if they picked up the call, now is the time, and how they are, we don't really care. They don't really care. If they are saying, I'm in a bad mood, what are you going to say? The typical reaction is, I'm good. What's this call about? So that's, you want to avoid all that and just get straight into the call. If I hope that makes sense.
Absolutely. Wow. That's very, very powerful. Because when you start asking, how are you? Then they will ask you, how are you? Then they will ask you a few questions. Where are you from? It goes on for a minute or two, and then the focus gets lost.
Yeah, especially if you're doing an outbound. During a inbound, you can have that little chit chat for that first 1 or 2 minutes. That's fine. But now we're talking specifically about going out there and breaking the pattern from what every single other call is there. You want to be that 1% that is not that call for them today, right?
Yeah, even in inbound, what I feel is maybe not more than 30 seconds. You should
Yeah,
spend on,
quick 30 seconds, 1 minute.
quickly move on to focus on their issues.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what so you say, great, I want to be respectful of our time today. Is it all right if we just dive into the call? Perfect. That's what I was looking for. Yeah.
It's also the pattern, right? So pattern you want to break, guys. Asking how are you, they know, right? Typically, who does that, right? When they pick the call, oh, my name is from, company so and so. How are you, sir? Your answer was, yeah, fine. Like, but yeah, what's the purpose of this call? Yeah, why are you calling me? Yeah, and then you hang up. No, I don't have time. Yeah, so that you're inviting yourself to look like a salesperson. That's the last thing you want to do when you are a closer. Yeah. All right. So the skeptical tone, right? So the skeptical tone is when you act doubtful that something is true or not. You're just acting like, yeah, it's acting. Yeah. And this tone you want to act like you are a bit skeptical about the idea. Like, hmm, skepticism. Yeah, skepticism, you understand, right? Yeah. Okay, so while also doing this, I'm seeing the time, 9:57, right? And I feel like I'm gonna take at least another 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. So with your permission, is it fine if we take another 15 minutes? Yeah. Will that be fine? If that's fine, type in yes in the chat. We'll proceed further. If you suggest no, then it's all good, guys. We'll wrap it up here. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Good. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Wow. Good. Yeah. So typically we just don't want to say it's gonna be in from 9 to 8:30 to 10:30. But yeah, that's what happens, sometimes. But it's fine. Let's just wrap it up. Yeah. But this is gonna be the most important session, guys, like I told you. So let's finish it, but finish it with full seriousness and attentiveness. Yeah. Okay. So example would be, I've put a lot of Manoj here. I was thinking like, what can be a nice regular name for the Indian market? Yeah, Manoj is. Then I thought, oh yeah, Manoj. I see a lot of Manoj here.
Thank you, Aniket.
Okay, all right. So yeah, skepticism, right? So, yeah. So how we gonna sow skepticism, right? Like it's just the idea of skepticism is to just make them speak up what they wouldn't really share with you. You know, if you wouldn't show skepticism, yeah. Like so, I would show like something like this. Manoj, you can do the role play with me here. Yeah. So Manoj, I'm just curious, like, why would you choose Gopal to get guidance on building your coaching business when you have other coaches out there as well, like a lot of experts? Like, why would you choose Gopal?
Uh, I felt I'm resonating with him, with his backstory, how he came from, and I really like his way of coaching as well. So I chose he would be the right fit for me.
Okay, but what is it like you saw in his story that you find like kind of resonating? Because I'm sure you sound like a good experienced coach. You have seen a lot of other coaches out there, their story. Like why Gopal's story? Like what is it that you saw in his story that you found like resonating?
He also came from this middle class family, and
Oh,
the way that he worked used to a job 9 hours, 10 hours, and he's still working on his side hustle, and that really resonated with me. I
uh,
can still feel that.
okay, I see. Yeah, yeah. So you can see the skepticism, right? I'm thinking like why else? Like why not? Yeah, like yeah, I'm doubting. I'm doubting like why? Doubt. Yeah, I'm doubtful. Why? Like that. Chief, you want to give any other example to that of that?
Yeah, I mean, I think, the most important reason you use the skeptical tone is because you want to test their interest level, right? Usually, using reverse psychology, asking them questions which, are not the typical questions is going to make them want to justify more on why they want to do that. And you want to bring the people who are not sounding too interesting. There's so many options out there. Why come to us? I mean, it's cheaper. Why would you want to come to us? No, I want to come to you because blah blah blah. You want them to justify why they are on this call, and that's going to give them more clarities to say, oh yeah, actually, yeah, that is why I'm on this call. Because when you question someone's intentions, they want to justify, and using a skeptical tone is going to help them, start to give the answers which we're looking for, which is going to test their commitment level. Right? If they give a very, very shallow answer, again, it's not going to really, that person is not really interested. You want to start building the interest scale from 1 to 10, ideally.
Right. And the tone that we are talking about, guys, not something that you have to use just in the beginning or in the middle, throughout the call, anywhere you want to use it, because it just helps you get those answer, the truth out of the prospect. And like in this answer, prospect is actually selling himself, like why he really want. I don't have to tell him. Yeah, he's closing himself now. Yeah.
Aniket, usually, in the beginning, curious tone is okay till you have established authority. So once you establish little authority, then yes, you can use skepticism. It works. But beginning, I would like to keep usually a curious tone. Yeah.
Right. Of course. Makes sense, Vinny. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. So let's fasten up. Let's wrap it up. Good. So the concern tone. Yeah. So this is the third tone in the sixth tonality that we want to talk about and want to give to you, so that you act very well as a closer and close a lot of deals. Yeah. So what is it? The concern tone is when you act worried for them. Yeah. You have to. And should come from where it should come from. Heart, right? And you can do that. A worry that's coming out of care. A tone that shows empathy. Empathy is the keyword, right? Empathy. People like empathy. Yeah. So our typical good example of this would be a consequence question. Yeah. Where we can show the concern. Yeah. So okay, so I will do a role play. Chief, I will do a role play with you. Okay. Yeah. No? Okay.
Sure.
All right. So this is in the case of like somebody, a professional who want to double his salary and all, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. So oh my, I believe it's important in life to look at both sides of the coin. I heard entire call, and I'm hearing you what you want to do in life, what are the challenges is, and I completely understand that. But I want to share perspective here. Like, I understand on the one side you wish to get higher packages and achieve blank CTC. Yeah. But I want you to look at the other side as well, other side of the coin. Yeah.
Mhm.
What what if you continue doing what you are doing now, and 6 months passes by, 1 year, 2 year, and you continue to get just that 10% hike and continue to face challenges to pay your bills? What are you going to do then? Like, how would that situation make you feel on?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be pretty bad.
Okay. Yeah. So like concern, right? Like,
Mhm.
how would that make you feel? Like that, I would like to know, because I'm sure it's gonna be a not so good situation to be in, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Concern, right? And it can be seen on my face as well, right? Like concern. Yeah. Concern tonality. You have seen actors, right? You may have seen, like, you have seen some shows, like some English shows as well, like Suits, right? You see, like, suddenly in just a matter of second, these guys, like, they walk there, they just use their pitch, their tonality, and suddenly, like, scene is so serious. Just a second back, people are laughing, and wow, the scene is so serious right now. Actor is using it very well, right? And you have to use it too, right? See, it's how much, like, in this scenario, when I'm talking to him, how much, like, suddenly in matter of seconds, how serious the conversation got, right? Concern. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. If you understood how to use it, type in concern in the chat, guys. Or just type C. Just type C if you understood. Yeah. Good. Good. All right. Okay. So the next is what's next? Yeah, the confused tone. The confused tone, right? This is good. I'm sure this must be one of the favorite of Om. Yeah. Acting confused. Yeah. Sometimes he scratch his ads also. Yeah, he does that. Yeah. Okay, I will show you. Okay. So typically you can use it around like where you want to know what are they doing now, the current state question, which will be when you show our script, you will understand what our current state question. Yeah. So yeah, if we will be using something like this, it's sometimes it's most of the time it's like more like a confused plus curious, tonality. Yeah. So I'll be like this. Yeah. So can you share with me like what are you like doing now to get better job offers and opportunities from the market?
Hmm.
Or
Now,
this was not good one. Let me try again. Yeah. Let me try this one. Yeah. Okay. So can you like share with me like what you're really doing now to like generate more leads for your online coaching business?
hmm, I'm doing XYZ.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Confusion. Yeah. Chief, you want to show any example of that?
Yeah, I mean, so I would say like, this prospect. So Aniket, I'm just having a hard time understanding this. From what I understand, things are going pretty well. So what's really the problem?
Oh, oh, yeah. Yeah. So the problem is blah blah blah. Yeah, yeah. This is a good one.
Hmm.
This is a good one. Yeah. So you can use your variation of it, but understand. See, just when you call the word in your brain, guys, tonality will come automatically, right? Confusion. You want to show confusion, right? And it should show on face. Like I said, 55 is just gesture, right? And 35% is tonality, right? You gotta mix it up both. Just not tonality, face also. Yeah. Like can you like share with me on like what are you really doing now to like generate more leads for your online coaching business? Yeah, like that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now let's quickly go. And this confused one, guys, it's really gonna help you. Like it's one of the nice way if you feel like you didn't get the right answer. You're like there's something more, right? Act like confused.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one is very powerful because there's this saying, tell it to me like I'm a 5-year old. How many of you guys have heard that, right? Can you explain it to me? It sounds a little complicated. Can you explain to me exactly, what you mean? And just like if I'm a 5-year old, how would you explain it to me? So they
Uh,
break it down so clearly. They try to, and take your time. There's no rush. Then they think about it and they simplify it. A lot of people, they like to use a lot of jargon and they'll be like doing this every we just simplify it a little bit because I'm very confused right now. It's okay to kind of tell them that I need to understand clearly. Can you tell me more? What exactly do you mean by that? These are all different ways to kind of get them to talk and hopefully get some pain out from them as well.
right, right. You can also use the word confused, yeah, like you can act like I'm a bit confused, Mr. Prospect. You mentioned that you are dependent on referral leads. Yeah, but you said you do want to do Facebook ads, but I've been thinking about over a year and you still haven't done it. Like I'm a bit confused. Like, why would you do that? Like thinking about over a year and still not do it? Why? you know Confusion. Oh, okay, I will help you understand, Aniket. Like what happened is like that they start explaining and they explain really deep because they can see the expression. Oh, this guy actually needs some more information to help me out you know yeah. Okay, all right, let's talk about disappointed. Yeah, disappointed tone. Yeah, there can be a disappointed tone also. Yeah, and how it would help you. Yeah, I will show you. Okay. um so here, like you typically, you like I said, like disappointed is like it is sort of also empathy. Disappointed, not something like I mean, when you say disappoint, it's not like angry. When people are disappointed, they think like they can be angry also. Like disappointed is more like coming from empathy. Like why would you be in this situation? Like yeah, like why? Something like that. Like not angry but disappointed. Why would you do it all? Yeah, I'll show you example. Okay. So like this example, something like prospect who haven't been, was just thinking about to, work on himself, but he didn't really do, right? So like I will put it on home. Yeah. So like why did you go like this over 2 years without getting what you really want and don't do anything about this at all?
Yeah, it's a long story, Aniket, and I'm telling you, wasn't an easy decision. It's just so many factors that made it like this.
Okay, one more variation. Okay, you can put a hand on your heart like that. Yeah, like that while talking. You're so disappointment. Really, you'll put the scene so serious. It's emotional. Yeah. So like this guy, this prospect have been going for 2 years and didn't really just work on his getting his bigger offer, right? I'm like, but so I understand like what you just told me, why things didn't go your way and that sort of stuff. But like, but why did you just think over this thing for over 2 years over and over and like wanting to change it? Like, don't really do anything about this at all.
Yeah. Notice also the volume, guys. It's like, especially on the phone, especially, it's really nice where you can bring the mic a little closer, I think, and you can speak really softly, and you can say, I'm not able to understand, how is it that you were able to go 2 years without any support from your family, your friends? I mean, must have been hard, right? How did you manage?
You don't know. I'm just passing. You know.
Yeah, I've got this pain in my face, you can see, right? You guys, it's like 2 years. How? I can't even imagine that pain. Yeah. Ready, get your wallet. We're going.
Right. And sometimes what I do, I release the breath. Yeah, like that. Like the call is going, he just spoke, and then I'm like,
Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah.
oh my, I really understand, like I'm sure it have been tough, but how come like you just didn't do anything about this? It's been like 2 years and you have been going and going. Why wouldn't you do anything about this at all? Yeah, like that. Yeah. Okay. Let's see some chat. Amazing put needle inside mouth. How much? What are you saying?
He said we pricked him, we were picking him nicely with pain.
Uh,
Virtually.
yeah, nice. Yeah. Good. Are you liking it, guys? Just quickly put in the chat, Al, you're liking it. Yeah. Just put in the chat. If you're not liking it, then maybe we gotta up ourselves in our game. Yeah. Al, yeah, good. All right. Yeah, let's move on. We'll move on. Just two more. I think two more is left. Yeah. The challenging tone. I think it's the last one. Uh yeah, last one. Last one only. Let's cover it out, guys. Ooh. All right. So the challenging tone, okay. So challenging tone is a tone that encourages them to move, that will change their situation, to make them move. Yeah, positivity, right? And it's one of my favorite. I use it all the time. Yeah. The aim of this tone is to make them feel challenge within and let them thinking like taking it as a challenge that they have to, in order to win to like to prove themselves that they are capable of winning. Sometimes like you can put, so understand like challenge, right? Challenge is a word that now you're like, oh, I gotta prove myself. Challenge, you're gonna win this. you know it's now like it's like a war, right? War kind of, I don't want to lose. Yeah. How you can make that possible? Yeah. Let's use it. Okay, again a bit of a consequence in the situation of consequence, and then we'll challenge. Yeah, that's what I do. I put a consequence to make them feel, like, hey, what's the consequence of this? And then I challenge them. I will show you how I do that, right? So in case of home, yeah, home, let's do it, huh? So just tell me like what happens if you don't do anything about this lead issue and you continue to get bad quality leads that continue to affect your revenue negatively? How will like that make you feel?
Hmm. It's gonna be pretty bad, actually.
Okay.
I won't be able to sustain for the next 3-4 months.
Okay. Did you feel like if it keeps on going, like I know you told me And the last month you had a negative, of course, like it was not even break even because of lead quality. I know your team is putting effort, you said, right? But if
Hmm.
like in a row, if you get another 3 months regularly, like it's not even break even, do you think you can sustain that with your current cash flow?
No, no, no.
Okay. And if you do get in that kind of situation, how do you think you're going to handle?
Uh, I need to take a loan. I need to figure out something. Might need to close down my business. I'm not sure.
Close down your business. Then, and you tell me when you are speaking to me, are you willing to settle for that?
No, I can't. It's do or die now. I have to do it.
Yeah, so it's one example, right? Like slowly I put him in a consequence and then I'm challenging softly, right? I can ask her this question also, like when I ask, like, are you willing to settle for that? No, no, not at all. And I was like, and just imagine if it does happen to me, who do you think is really going to be responsible for that? What will you
Hmm.
answer? I. Very powerful. Huh? Like, oh, I. Yeah, I. Yeah. Another one. Yeah. This is one of my good one. Yeah. So Om, do you feel it can be a smart decision to do something about this issue when you can, or would you like to risk your business and go into the future knowing that you are not really ready for that day to come?
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I have to do something about it for sure.
Yeah. So like that, this one is really good. Yeah. Here, like you can take their motivation high. In this one, basically you want to challenge them. You can even use a word challenge, right? Like, I know, like, you're in a situation where you probably doesn't have funds. You're not getting the right support from your team. But, in life, I've seen that, people who take things up as a challenge, they do win. They do win one day. Yeah. Can I challenge you to go after your dreams? Can I? But I will do that only when you really want your dreams to be achieved. So my question to you is, do you want your dream to be achieved? That's what
Making me
happened.
sad. Okay, they're making me think about my dream now.
Okay, so this is the last one, guys. Yeah, this one you want to use. Like, it's favorite of my favorite and one of our really ex closers, like strong closers. I learned it from him, like really badass closer. Okay. So let me quickly read it before I tell you. Yeah, so like after you put the consequence and all this kind of situation, are you willing to settle for that? No, 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 no. Who do you think is going to be responsible? I'm going to be responsible. Yeah, so do you ask a question like this? Yeah, so then, so now after realizing all of this, that you can be in a situation where things can be dicey, do you feel it's a time to make the change?
Yeah, I guess so.
And when you're speaking to me today, are you ready to take in those actions that will help you get the results that you said you want today?
Mm, yeah,
I didn't hear you. Can you speak out
yeah,
louder?
yes, yes, I can.
You don't sound so sure. Do you think you can?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Can you speak louder?
Yes,
Are you
I'm
sure
gonna
you
do it.
go after your dreams home? Are you sure?
Yes, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, good, good. Yeah. So yeah, right now, like maybe it was not that sort of situation, but yeah, I it usually goes well. So well, even if it's right now it's landing so well, you're taking their energy high. The motivation is going high. I'm like, I didn't hear you. Are you ready? Yeah, I'm ready, Aniket. Are you sure? Do you think you can do what all it takes? Because it's gonna be tough, my friend. It's gonna be tough. Are you ready for that challenge? Yes, I am. You sure? Yeah, I am. Then let's do it. Yeah. Motivation is so high, like, yeah, let's do. It's not taking to them to close. All done here. Like when the people's motivation is high, there's something called drive, guys, here within a strive. Yeah, drive. And that drive you can use to close. That's a drive right now. I want to win my dreams. Can you? Yeah, I can. Use the drive. Yeah. We all have drive, right? Why are you coming to this session and attending it? You do have a drive, right? To become a better closer, to make more money, right? That drive is what we want to use. Yeah. Okay. So quick recap. It's all done. Yeah. So lesson one that we learned in this lesson is understanding various tonalities and how to use them to your advantage during a sales call. And then using the right tone will allow you to get your prospects open up and share the things that they never told anyone before. They're going to tell you the untold dreams if you use the tonality well. Yeah.